Alrighty everyone, welcome back. It is now March 10th of 2024, and I think it's absolutely necessary to really point this out, but Leslye Headland, the showrunner and the director of the upcoming Acolyte Star Wars series, is definitely more extreme than worse than Kathleen Kennedy ever will be over at Lucasfilm. This is exactly why I like to point this out, because every time you look at Lucasfilm as a division of the Walt Disney Company, they are most certainly in a worse position than that of Marvel Studios, because Lucasfilm always falls into the vicious cycle of titles either getting announced and then later cancelled, and or falling into creative differences over and over again consistently. This is Mike Zero. Subscribe if you're new and like this video to see future updates. You can also follow me at Mike01. I thank you also very much for the great and kind support. So, one thing about the whole Elon Musk situation with the lawsuit that he is funding and going head-to-head against Bob Iger, Disney, Kathleen Kennedy, Lucasfilm, whatever have you, there's a lot of things going on over at Disney right now as far as their legal situation goes, and it doesn't stop at Elon Musk. I mean, Bob Iger's got a lot of things going on there. However, when it all dwindles down to showrunner Leslye Headland, this is where things begin to go out of control over at Lucasfilm as a division of the Walt Disney Company, and why it's only making matters worse for 2024 and beyond when it comes to Kathleen Kennedy's overall situation. Now, look, I think that Kathleen Kennedy should have gotten fired years ago, ever since The Last Jedi debuted in theaters back in 2017. There's no doubt about that. I think that we could all agree about that. But what's interesting here has a lot to do with what's been going on with the legal situation surrounding Kathleen Kennedy. Now, with the two most failed divisions at Disney showing no signs of a resolution, like Lucasfilm and Marvel Studios, for example, one major development has much to do with the director and showrunner known as Leslye Headland in a rapid response to the ongoing lawsuit by both Elon Musk and Gina Carano. Now, the most recent drama surrounding the lawsuit now is that Leslye Headland is getting involved as a supporter of Kathleen Kennedy and backing up her claims that, of course, what Kathleen Kennedy did to Gina Carano was completely in the right and 100% valid. This is mostly due to the fact that many Lucasfilm employees that are currently hired and were active when Gina got fired by Kennedy are very close friends, as it turns out, of Leslye Headland. Already in the Acolyte, of course, situation, the Acolyte showrunner and director is getting involved with the Elon and Gina lawsuit against Kennedy herself and Lucasfilm by helping to gather more evidence to support Kathleen Kennedy's situation. This is also due to how the legal battle for Elon and Gina is already creating a serious delay on other Star Wars related projects that are also set to involve Leslye Headland, such as the Acolyte Season 2, for example, which was already greenlit by Kennedy that is now on a deep pause to focus more on the lawsuit. In addition to all of this, Leslye Headland is also going through many Lucasfilm employees that are very good friends of hers to get involved in the Elon Musk lawsuit to help fight the Gina Carano legal battle in order to make their case more smooth and easier in the long run. Leslie's support of Kathleen Kennedy against Musk comes at no surprise, since Kennedy is already planning to promote Leslye, of course, Headland overall, to vice president of Lucasfilm in the near future, as well as giving her a slot within the Lucasfilm story group that will allow Headland to actually hold superiority over some story choices for the upcoming movies and TV shows, ones that she's not even writing or directing. What makes the entire situation even worse is that Leslye Headland is also planning to go on all the ABC-run programs with Kennedy by her side to address the Gina Carano lawsuit and the current status of Lucasfilm with their upcoming Star Wars projects. This move is most likely due to the fact that Kennedy will, in fact, be giving her a massive promotion in the upcoming months as planned. One other update to the situation is that Leslye Headland is also taking part in a planned documentary that is being put together quite rapidly by Kathleen Kennedy about the workplace of Lucasfilm that is planned to name-drop Gina Carano in this documentary and why she was fired as a response to the Elon Musk lawsuit, with Gina Carano, of course, against Lucasfilm and Disney. This documentary was a Kathleen Kennedy idea to focus on going over the internal structure of the workplace and atmosphere over at Lucasfilm, and part of it will be dedicated to calling out Gina Carano. Leslye Headland is also willingly taking part in the lawsuit against Lucasfilm to act as a witness to what happened with Gina and backing Kathleen Kennedy's side of the story and why Kennedy felt she needed to be fired. Now guys, again, let me just pause here for one moment before I get to the big conclusion. Now, we all know that Leslye Headland is like Kathleen Kennedy times 10. Alright, I mentioned this before in the beginning of this video. She's way more extreme as far as her beliefs go about what Star Wars should become, where Star Wars should go. I mean, this is the very same person that literally said that if you are a believer that George Lucas is the key to making Star Wars successful, then that's the misogyny and that's the problem. That's literally what she said on a podcast. And let's also not forget about who she used to be a personal assistant for. I don't think I have to remind you all about that again. We've talked about that so many times that I think it really is just driven into everyone's head now. But it just goes to show you what type of people Kathleen Kennedy hires over at Lucasfilm and who she allows to stick around for multiple years over at Lucasfilm. So moving onwards, alright, this was of course recent advice, this whole scenario handed down by Bob Iger to Kathleen Kennedy to have someone higher in the ranks at Lucasfilm, like Leslye, to take her side in the legal situation against Musk that is already beginning to go out of control as it is. This is yet another damage control moment for Kennedy in the worst way possible. So look, we know that Elon Musk is not going to stop and shows no signs of stopping, of calling out Disney for who they really are, and really gearing up to create multiple lawsuits, not just against Disney and Bob, but also against Lucasfilm and Kathleen Kennedy. I mean, heck, we talked about this a couple of days ago that Elon already has a handful of ex-Lucasfilm employees that hold new truths and bombshell details about how Lucasfilm works in the workplace and how improper Kathleen Kennedy's methods really are, both as a president, both as an employer, who she allows to stay hired at the company, etc., etc., how she goes about firing people. I mean, the list goes on and on. So this is exactly all not just catered to Bob Iger and his lack of leadership skills, it's also all catered to Kathleen Kennedy and what she has allowed to happen over the past number of years. Now again, we know that Leslye Headland is going to begin to go on her overall marketing campaign for the upcoming Acolyte series and what's going on with all of that, and how she plans to really make that very direct with all of the general public. She wants to make sure that she gets to create her version of Star Wars, that she wants to essentially reset, quote-unquote, the Star Wars franchise and to divert from George Lucas's overall philosophy of what the franchise should be all about. So Leslye Headland, I mean, she's making it openly clear that she wants to destroy the franchise and how it has been for the past 40 years under George Lucas's wing, and to deliberately just snub George Lucas's Star Wars and really kind of shift away from all of that. So overall, I would really love to hear what you all have to say about this below in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel, and I will catch you guys later.